everyone to our presentation on exercise with MS. My name is Erik Weston.
And my name is John Calvert. We are doctoral students at Central Michigan University's physical therapy program.
So we're going to be starting off with a quiz on attitudes towards MS and exercise. What I'm going to do is read off the question and the answers, and then I'm going to want you to pause and select your answer. The following slide will be me going over the correct answer. So question 1, exercise is beneficial for people with MS. True or false? The answer is true, and we'll be getting into more detail as to why that's the case. For question 2, I feel comfortable exercising with multiple sclerosis. Yes or no? We're hoping that you picked yes, but it's totally okay if you said no. Hopefully by the end of this presentation, you'll feel more comfortable with exercise. For question 3, exercise has the following benefits for people with MS. It decreases fatigue, improves balance, improves bladder and bowel control or function, improves mood and quality of life, or all the above. The correct answer is all the above, and we'll get into more detail about this later in the presentation. For question 4, which types of exercise are the most beneficial for people with MS? We have aerobics, which is running, jogging, walking, dancing, or biking. Aquatic therapy, which is exercising in the water. Progressive resistance training, such as weightlifting or doing exercises with added resistance, or all the above. The correct answer is all the above, and we'll be getting into specific benefits for each exercise later in the presentation. For question 5, if you're not feeling your best, should you still exercise? Yeah, no pain, no gain. Nah, I don't want to risk it. Or sometimes, but I need to listen to my body and my symptoms and modify accordingly. So the correct answer is C, and we hope by the end of this presentation you'll have a good understanding of how to correctly modify when it comes to exercise.
And before we get into the details of our presentation, I just wanted to share this quote with you. It comes to us from Delina. She is a patient with multiple sclerosis, and she shared her story on multiplesclerosis.net. And that quote is, "In the end, all that matters is my attitude, and I won't let a label change that." So I think that's very important for anyone, but especially if you have a condition such as MS, something you can't control, but all you can do is have a good attitude and make the best of the rain like this young lady is doing here. And chances are, if you're watching this presentation, you have a pretty good idea what MS is, but we'll quickly go through it. Pretty much, it's a disease of the central nervous system that disrupts the flow of information from your brain to the rest of your body. These are all connected by nerves, and it just sends a signal from one place to the other, and this gets interrupted. The cause of it is unknown. They believe it's a combination of factors that you're born with or factors around you. Unfortunately, women are 2 to 3 more times more likely to develop MS than men. There's no cure, but treatments include medications to slow the progression and to treat symptoms. Lifestyle modifications are key, and what we're going to talk about today is exercise. This is what I call the roadmap analogy to explaining MS. The star on the left is going to be your brain. The star on the right is going to be, let's say, your big toe. If you want to tell your big toe to move, you send a signal straight down Broomfield Street, and that'll tell your toe to move. The only issue is with MS, you can get what we call potholes on your nerves. And if you live in Michigan, you know sometimes you hit a pothole going fast, you barely feel it. Other days, if you're not feeling as well and you hit a pothole going slow, it might destroy your car. Eventually, if a pothole in the road gets bad enough, it'll block your route completely. Your brain is smart, however, and it'll find a different route to go around. This is called neuroplasticity. This is a big word for your brain finding a new route. As time goes on, though, unfortunately, you can develop a pothole on that road, and that can slow your route down or block it off completely, like it is here. But once again, your brain will find a different route, and exercise will help you to take these potholes going faster or finding different routes completely. So our goal is to keep finding a new route and not have MS block all of your routes to what you want to do, such as this last one here. So exercise can help you to find that different route and make it a faster drive. And since we're on the driving theme here, you were in the driver's seat. We all have the power to control what we can control. So it's important to remember to not let things get you down. Do the best with what you have and remember that you're in the driver's seat.
All right, so now we want you to quick pause the video and you're going to explain the roadmap analogy that John just went over to either a loved one, family member, friend, or pet. When you're done, resume the video.
All right, in the MS community, there's something that's called the cycle of symptoms. And as you can see by the arrows, they're all very interrelated. We could have put arrows going from every circle on here to every other circle. But pretty much, if you have increased fatigue and depression, it's going to lead to exercising less. This will lead to increased spasticity or tightness in your muscles that you can't control. This can lead to increased bowel and bladder issues. If you're worried about having accidents, you are less likely to get good sleep. Less sleep is going to decrease your cognitive function. You'll be really foggy. And this goes around and around. So our goal is to break the cycle of symptoms. As you can see, if you start exercising more, this will decrease your spasticity. It'll relax your muscles a little bit. It'll allow you to have better bowel and bladder function. You'll get better sleep. You'll be thinking better. Your cognitive function will improve, and this will lead to less fatigue and depression. So we want to break the cycle of symptoms with exercise. Some of the benefits of exercise, these will be touched on a lot, but you can improve your strength. If you increase your muscle size, you're going to increase your strength. If you have more strength, you're less likely to suffer an injury from a fall or something like that, or you'll be able to recover faster from it if you do. You'll have better endurance. The more you get your blood flowing in your body, it's going to help your heart and lung function. This will also help with your fatigue. You'll have better bowel and bladder control. There's muscles that control both your bowel and bladder. So if those are stronger, you're less likely to have accidents. I know if I was having less accidents, I would start feeling better too, improving your mood, but exercise will also release a feel-good chemical in your brain, and this is going to improve your confidence as well. And all of this is going to lead to decreased fatigue. You'll have more energy throughout the day. You'll have more energy to do the things in life you enjoy doing. And you might be asking yourself, where do I start? Exercise can be a daunting thing for anyone, but for MS, we have what's called the staircase approach to exercising. So you can hop in at any level depending on where you are and where you're comfortable with. At the bottom rung there, you can see is passive range of motion. ROM is range of motion. And this can be anything. You can have a partner, a roommate, a caretaker, anyone move your limbs for you. Even you just passively having your limbs move for you, that will circulate blood. It'll help protect your joints because you'll get them moving. It'll stretch tissue. It'll be beneficial. A rung up from that or a step up from that is active range of motion. This can be as simple as stretching, like they're doing in this picture here, some light walking, anything that's going to get you moving actively. And at the top here, we have integrated exercise. It's very similar to the class we're showing right there. It can be something like yoga, Pilates, any type of exercise group that's going to combine raising your heart rate, the cardio component, and strength training, getting stronger. If anything that's going to combine those two is going to be an integrated exercise, and that's kind of your top rung goal.
All right, so now getting to the best types of exercise for MS. John and I did some pretty extensive research in the literature and found that there are 3 types of exercise that are the best for people with MS. So we have aerobic exercise, aquatic therapy, and progressive resistance training. All three of these exercises together are going to lead to a better sense of health or quality of health. So with aerobic exercise, that's really anything that gets you moving. It can be running, jogging, dancing. Honestly, choose any sort of activity that you enjoy that involves movement. And if you can be at a rate in which your heart rate is increased and you're sweating, that's going to be really great for you. Now, there's also aquatic therapy. This is just exercising in the water that can either be done by swimming, or there's a variety of community-based programs with water-specific exercise classes, such as water aerobics, Zumba in the water. All of these activities are very beneficial. Lastly, we have progressive resistance training, which is lifting weights or using TheraBands. Now, if you don't know what a TheraBand is, I have one right here. If you've ever been to a PT clinic, and you kind of see them all over now, it's just one of these rubber elastic bands. You can also use your own body weight for resistance training. And again, all three of these types of exercise are going to lead to overall better health. Now for each, now in terms of how long to do each of the exercises, there is also specific guidelines in the research. So the aerobic exercise, it's suggested that you should get to about 150 minutes of moderate intensity per week. Now, you don't have to start off there. You can start off wherever you're comfortable and hopefully work up to that goal. Also, 10 minutes of light stretching per day will help with your overall mobility and ease pain as well, because your muscles won't be as stiff. And then light to moderate resistance training should occur about 2 to 3 times per week. Now to get into the specific benefits of each of these exercise types. So aerobic exercise improves your memory. It improves your heart function by increasing your heart rate. It helps with balance and decreasing fatigue. Aquatic therapy also decreases fatigue and increases your exercise tolerance. This is primarily achieved through temperature control. Due to the water being colder, it will help keep your body at a cooler temperature. And then water also unweights you, so there's less pressure on your joints. There's also been some research to show that new neurons can be formed while performing or engaging in aquatic therapy. So as John had mentioned in his roadmap analogy, with a new neuron, you'll have other pathways to perform the actions that you wish to desire, or that you desire. All right. And with progressive resistance training, you can improve your strength, power, and you can also decrease inflammation. There's also been research that progressive resistance training releases some chemicals that protect the brain from further damage. Now, as mentioned before, all three of these types of exercise are going to improve your health. And what that would look like is less relapses, an overall better mood, improved fitness, and a better quality of life.
So now we're going to take another quick break. So go ahead and pause the video here. What we want you to do is to draw a picture of each of the types of exercise we explained. So an aerobic training exercise, an aquatic training exercise, and a progressive resistance training exercise, which is more like lifting weights. Whatever that means to you, quick draw a picture of that type of exercise. If you're good at drawing, awesome for you. I am terrible. Mine would be all stick figures, and that is fine. And before we get exercising, we want to go over some tips here. So it is very important for anyone who's going to exercise, whether you have MS or not, it is important to warm up. So that it can be anything that gets your body moving. So you can, as simple as going for a short walk, you can do some light stretching to get your joints loosened up. You can do some marching in place. You can make that a little more difficult by doing jogging in place, or you can make it less difficult by just marching in place right in your chair. It doesn't have to be complicated. And then when you're done exercising, it's important to just not plop down on the couch, but to come down off that gradually. And you can do some light stretching, some deep breathing. You could even go for another quick short walk as part of your cool down. Some more important tips here is staying hydrated. Cold water will help you keep your body temperature lower. It'll keep you from being exhausted from the heat. Same can be said for exercising in a cool room. Whenever that's possible, I know it's not always possible if you don't have AC, but if you're going to exercise outside, do it in cooler times of the day, so the evening or the morning. Remember to warm up and cool down, as we said. No pain, no gain should not be your motto. Just because an exercise hurts or it makes you sore doesn't mean that it was good. So start low, go slow, listen to your body for feedback is very important. Listen to your symptoms and your body will tell you what it wants. I think one of the most important tips here is have fun, be social, join a class if you have one in your area, get a workout partner, drag your spouse or your roommate with you for all your workouts. Have a goal in mind, something that's attainable and realistic. You don't want to climb Mount Everest right out of the gates. Maybe take a couple hills first and warm up to it. Make exercise a habit as part of your routine. You can go for a 10-minute walk after dinner. This is something that I personally do. Just take a quick couple of laps around the block after any meal. You can get more steps. It's going to increase your blood flow. It'll help with your digestion. You can try parking further away whenever you go to the grocery store to just add in those steps. Same can be said for taking the stairs instead of the elevator at work. Anything like that that's going to increase your activity. Very important to make it meaningful to you. So that's part of setting a goal as well. I read a story about a patient with MS who their entire goal was to exercise to get in shape for their daughter's wedding. He wanted to have a hoot at his daughter's wedding. So make it meaningful for you, whatever that is, and you'll be more likely to stick to it. Same goes for setting a time to exercise. If you plan a time to exercise, you're more likely to exercise. So hold yourself accountable, write it on a big calendar, put it in front of your face so you have to see it every day, and remind yourself to get up and get active.
All right, so we're going to exercise now, and we're going to introduce you to circuit training. So circuit training consists of a variety of exercises. In this case, we're going to have 3. You're going to do 10 reps for each exercise, and you're going to repeat each exercise twice. Now, before we demonstrate that, we want to have a little explanation of the equipment you need, the actions you'll be performing, and the benefits. So John is going to start with sit to stand.
Okay, thank you, Eric. Sit to stand is a very beneficial exercise, and it's also a very simple one. You don't need much equipment, just a chair, preferably not a rolly chair or a swivel chair that I'm in right now, something that's going to be stable and not roll out from underneath of you. All you're going to do is go from a sitting position to a standing position. If you can, have your arms out in front of you. If not, you can push up out of the chair if you need to make it a little bit easier for yourself. This is going to work on leg strength and leg endurance.
All right, the next exercise we're going to have you do is squat overhead reaches. For this exercise, you don't need any equipment. And to do this exercise, you're going to first bend at the hips and knees and sink down into a squat, like this young woman is doing on the left side of the picture. You're going to keep a straight back, and as you come up, you want to extend at the hips and knees and reach overhead either to the right or left, like she is doing on the right side of the picture. This is a great exercise for the entire body. It's going to work on your leg strength, opening up your upper body and the sides of your body, and core strength. The last exercise we're going to have you do is punching with weights or boxing. So equipment is really anything of weight that you can hold in your hand. That can be a dumbbell, soup cans, water bottles, whatever you can find that you're able to hold. Now, for this, you want to assume an athletic stance, which is having your knee or your feet shoulder width apart and your knees slightly bent. You're going to punch outwards with force, and to make it more challenging, you can even take a step while punching. And I want you to aim at an imaginary target. Even better, having a specific target to punch towards is great. So if you have a painting on your wall, you can punch towards that, or even just putting sticky notes on the wall. This exercise will work on your balance, your core strength, arm strength, coordination, and sequencing of movements. So now we're actually going to demonstrate those exercises. So I have to quick stop sharing this PowerPoint. And now you should see John and I large on the screen. And we're going to be starting with sit to stands. I'm going to be doing every exercise as how we talked about them, while as John is going to be showing modifications that you can do for a little bit less of a challenge.
All right, so for sit to stand, like I said, Eric's going to be doing the full version. I will be doing a little bit easier version. So I'm going to be pushing up off of my chair, helping with my arms. Erik is just going to have his arms out in front of him, and he's just going to touch and go. So as soon as he touches the seat, he's going to pop back up. So we're going to stand, push up through your feet and hips, come back down, sit, and then back up, and then down, 2, and up, down, 3, up, down, 4, up, down, 5, up, down, 6, up, down, 7, and up, down, 8, up, down, 9, up, down, 10. And a good cue for that exercise is sitting back towards the chair, always pushing with your legs, keeping them firmly planted.
For the next exercise, we're doing the squat overhead reach. So for this, you're going to stand with your feet shoulder width apart, or as John is demonstrating, he's just going to be reaching across to each side. So to squat down, you're just going to sink down, bending your hips and knees. You want to attempt to have the bottom part of your leg and the top part of your leg form a 90-degree angle. And so we're going to come up and reach. So down, up, reach. 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 Down, up, and reach. I switched to the side view just so you could have a little bit better of understanding of what I'm doing. So with the final exercise, it's punching with weights or boxing. So in my case, I'm going to use some baked beans. John has some water bottles. So again, aim at a target. I have a painting on the wall, so that's what I'm aiming at. I'm going to start with the right side. Okay, so remember to punch with force. So we're punching. Punch. 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 Now you can step with your leg to make it more complicated. If that's a little too hard for you, just do punching. So now we're going on the left side. Punch. 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 All right, very good.
Added benefit, if you use a water bottle for your weight, you have a drink afterwards.
All right, so now I'm going to be going over a variety of resources for you, your loved ones, and honestly anyone that wants to know something about MS. So first and foremost, we have the National Multiple Sclerosis Society. This is a great organization. They have a variety of fundraisers, educational resources, support groups, and they'll publish the latest research. Now, there are chapters per state, and even furthermore, there's regional chapters. This is going to provide you with more localized resources and potentially a greater social group for support. There's also an organization called MS Connection, and this is a support group for those with MS, those who help people with MS, so healthcare providers like John and myself, and those who support people with MS. So that would be your family members, caretakers, friends, what have you. And again, this is just a support group. Now, in the Central Michigan area, we have a few options. First and foremost, through our very own physical therapy program, we have Move for Health at Central Michigan University. This is a free exercise program for people with Parkinson's and MS, and it is led by one of our faculty members, Dr. Haynes, as well as second-year physical therapy students. And as I said before, this is free. It's a really great resource. They typically meet once a week. If you want to find out more information, you can find the group on Facebook just by searching Move for Health at Central Michigan University. Now, there's also Community Mental Health for Central Michigan. This is for the entire Central Michigan region, and fortunately is located in Mount Pleasant. This is a great resource for a huge variety of tools, such as psychological services, and they also have a vast social network of other support services, such as transportation. These services are typically provided free or at a very low cost. Lastly, there's an organization in the UK called MS Trust, and you can find them by just doing a simple Google search, and on their website they have a variety of exercise videos, exercise tips, and especially a lot of resources on how to stick with exercise. So we're going to finish off this presentation with the same quiz that we did before on attitudes towards MS and exercise. So I'm going to read the question. I want you to pause, select your answer, and then I'm just going to say a quick blurb about why that answer is correct. So for question 1, exercise is beneficial for people with MS. The correct answer is true. Hopefully after this presentation, which is all about exercise, that's really sunk in. I apologize. That kind of sounded as if I was talking down to you. That was not the case. I was attempting sarcasm. Okay. Question 2, I feel comfortable with exercising with MS. We're hoping you selected yes. If not, that's okay. John showed a lot of simple modifications to exercise that will allow you to exercise at a more comfortable level. Exercise has the following benefits for people with MS. So exercise is really great at doing all these different things, such as decreasing fatigue, improving your balance, improving bladder and bowel function, improving your mood and quality of life. Question 4, which types of exercise is most beneficial for people with MS? All of these exercises. These are the 3 main exercise types that research has shown to be beneficial for people with MS. Question 5, if you're not feeling your best, should you still exercise? Well, it's kind of a depends answer. Really, you're the only one who knows your body, your symptoms, and what aggravates said symptoms. So you really need to modify accordingly. Trust your body and your instincts, but I hope that we have persuaded you to pursue exercise. Thank you very much for listening in. Again, I hope that you're all safe and healthy during this crazy time that we're in. Again, I'm Erik Weston.
And my name is John Calvert. Thank you very much. And feel free to reach out and contact us if you have any questions or you need any help with anything, or look up any of the many resources Erik went over. Just don't be afraid to reach out. Thank you.